pack of Jawas left some scrap behind, and upon scavenging it, I think this is Beskar.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is your controller, Captain. We've reached 6,900 feet. Go ahead and start flicking the sticks and mollywhopping the back paddles.
You don't like back paddles? How about those rear buttons? We've tested almost 100 custom and premium controllers, and we're only at the beginning. You need a thumbstick guide or a tutorial on how to overclock your controller? Check out the controller playlist.
Bing bong.
Controller Captain out.
Do it.
As for the packaging and included accessories on this Beskar edition, yes, it will include this charging station, which is painted to match. I think that is fantastic. And I'm expecting a very premium unboxing experience for two reasons. One, this is a Razer product, and even their budget or entry-level peripherals such as keyboard, mice, headsets, etc., in my experience, have had pretty good packaging. Second one would be the price point. This is a $180 controller, at least that's a recommended retail from Razer. However, this is currently retailing for $120 on Amazon, and that is what I paid for it. You will have a clear rectangular sticker on each side of the box. And as this is a licensed Microsoft product, it is going to have that lime green stamped sigil. Even more lime green because that's also Razer's theme color. Nice little cosmetic note there. This box is actually holographic like a Pokemon card. If you want to pause the box to read some of the key features, you may do so now. And that side. And the undercarriage as well. Oh my goodness, this is the slowest moving box ever, building a ton of anticipation because there's a nice vacuum seal between the top and bottom. There we go. I called it. Jose Canseco. I called my shot and then I put it in the bleachers. Premium presentation that I did expect. Laser cut foam in here for both the charging dock as well as the controller and whatever the hell this little niblet is. I already figured it out. It's the battery. It's the rechargeable battery pack. As this controller does have the luxury of being able to use disposables, that's fantastic, or this included rechargeable battery. In my opinion, the solution that all these first-party manufacturers, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo should be doing is allowing you to go the disposable route, but instead of making you pop for a rechargeable dock, which is usually about $20 to $30 on Amazon, just include the rechargeable pack. You don't even need a dock like this. Just have it rechargeable through the USB-C port of the controller. Easy day. And this is no slouch of a battery either, 1100 milliamp hour. These are snug as a bug in here. They're kind of hard to get out. It'd be nice if there was some cutouts in the foam. A little flippity flap here, you pull up the foreskin of the foam, and then you will have a charger. I'll come back here. I just threw the box, and I actually think I need it back over here. No, there is no documentation with this controller. I've never seen that before. Not a big deal. I'm not confused or anything, but yeah, I'm confused. That's fine. I don't know how to read anyway. How do you type all your descriptions of your videos then there, big dog? Little smoked baggie here to cover your barrel end of this plug. I did say barrel end, and that is most unfortunate. Oh, I really wish Razer was taking the USB-C route here, and also if they were going to go the barrel plug route, this is a permanently affixed cable here, so, you know. It's not very long either. It's about my wingspan, which is about, I don't know, 6 foot, so that's unfortunate. All right, let's get that included battery pack in there. Taking note of the polarity. Come on, sweetheart. Oh, it's snug as a bug. And then we roll right into the cosmetics or appearance, which of course I'm going to be overlaying some B-roll so you can see through my ocular cavities, my corneas, what I'm looking at. I do like this paint job. It's relatively high quality. There's no weird smears or abnormalities. And it is a very handsome controller, but I do have some complaints here as around the tuchus or back end, it is a little bit bland. You do have this battery tray cover, which looks fucking awesome, but the rear shell is stock as a block. Bumpers and triggers are just basic black plastic. Same thing with the D-pad, analog sticks, share and option buttons, and then you get to the goddamn face buttons, and I do declare that this is probably my biggest issue in the cosmetics department. The multicolored face buttons absolutely kill the looks of this controller. In fact, I will be removing the faceplate and installing some grayer black letter face buttons and adding some KontrolFreek thumbstick caps, which just those changes will completely change the looks of this controller. As for the charging dock, it does look really cool as it's kind of reflective or foily aluminum. It's reflective. It looks freaking awesome. And an interesting note, it seems like another company actually handles making this charger dock. It says Controller Gear here, assuming they make the dock. It gets rebranded by Razer because there is a Razer sticker on the bottom. You know what else is on the bottom? Some nice rubberized feet, so it's not slip sliding around your desk. That's pretty sick. Then you got these 3 pogo pins right here and 3 contact pads on the back, and you just drop her in place like that very easily. Snaps into place, cocks it at about a 45-degree angle, and puts her on display. That's pretty damn sweet. This will be gorgeous. I mean, it's pretty now. It'll be better. This is the way. It needs customization.
You are the leader of the war party. You have the honor of staying by the fire. This is the way.
Razer's manufacturer weight and dimensions is going to be popping up somewhere at eye level, but far enough away to where it doesn't give me anxiety. But as far as the real world ergonomics and comfort when you wrap your fingers around this bad boy, it is literally identical to an Xbox One or Series controller. Absolutely the same. You know what's not the same though? The weight, which is on screen here.
My detector test determined that was a lie.
This will make for a pretty short and sweet ergonomics and comfort section, considering I rave about the Xbox One and Series. Shit, even the 360 controllers, just Microsoft. Well, let's not get too rambunctious. The Duke was a fucking dinner plate that I wasn't snacking on. We'll say that. From like the Xbox Type S controller on, they're pretty solid, and this is no exception. Very comfortable. 10 out of 10. Just the perfect score. As for build quality, the charging dock feels quite hefty, quite chonky, and feels nice on the desk. The controller, I'm having a hard time distinguishing any kind of a difference from a standard Microsoft Xbox Series controller. It's almost like these are designed in the same goddamn warehouse, which is weird because Razer's the one that's producing these. Now, Microsoft has an atrocious quality control reputation in the controller community with their standard controllers as well as their premium and pro controllers, the Elite 1, Series 2, and Core, which is a whore for sure. Now, my Razer peripherals, keyboard, mice, headsets have held up phenomenally. I've had them for ages and they have no issues whatsoever. I've also had no issues personally with the Razer controllers that I own. I've owned the Razer Wolverine Tournament, Ultimate. You know, here's a list of the Razer controllers that I've owned, tested, and reviewed. And I've had no issues there. Nothing raises an eyebrow here build quality wise. There's no massive panel gaps, no creaks or moans and groans. You know, I was setting up my next usual camera angle to move right onto the D-pad, face and action buttons and whatnot, but then I came to a savage realization. This is a stock Xbox Series controller with a painted faceplate, battery tray cover, Razer branding, a third-party dock from another company, and I just made a humdinger, is your brother a singer of a video. That was quite a testimonial. Comparison video between Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers, specifically this generation, the 9th generation of home consoles, so the Xbox Series S and X and the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. That is definitively the most in-depth, comprehensive, in the weeds, disgustingly detailed comparison of those two controllers. So there's really no need for me to go any further with this controller other than just talking about the charging dock and the cosmetics and some of Razer's quirky shit, because this is an Xbox Series controller with a little bit of cosmetic tweaks from Razer and then a dock. Over here wired up to the PC with my Beskar, and we're gonna find out if this performs identically to an Xbox Series controller, which I think at its core, it is. I do believe the printed circuit board, that's what it is. It's just an Xbox controller, cosmetically souped up from Razer with a pretty dope little charging dock. Those weren't the droids we were looking for, and these aren't the thumbsticks that we were looking for either. These are those good old-fashioned mass-sourced Alps potentiometer joints that have been chucked into Microsoft and Sony controllers since I was a wee lad. Anyway, let's do a circularity test to get the thumbstick accuracy, please. Okay, red is generally the color that we do not like to see. The more I go, the more that red appears. On par with what we've seen from stock Xbox controllers, not the most accurate, not the tightest resting values, but I wouldn't call it out of the box stick drift. And I'm almost 99.99 made up statistic % sure that this is going to be polling rate locked as it is an Xbox controller, but we're going to test it. Do our due diligence, if you will. In that little dark folder that only my close friends know about on my PC, which is basically the whole internet. It's called controllers. This is where we overclock and measure our polling rate. We're going to start with the stock polling rate, which I'm assuming is going to be around 8 milliseconds on a 125 hertz stock clock. Still going, because the computer does need to register those 1,000 inputs, and it does take quite some time. So ignoring that one major outlier, which is going to be one sporadic number at the top that doesn't correlate with the rest of our results here, but if you just scroll through manually, you're going to see a lot of 7.9s, 8.0s, and whatnot. It's going to be 8 milliseconds on a 125 hertz stock clock. And as for overclocking, our friend, our comrade, our Lord of Mice is here for us. Let's do some overclocking. Gonna make that bigger. I'm gonna expand the child name, pay my child support. We're recognized by name as an Xbox controller, which is not overclocked. It's on its default speed, which is going to be an estimated 4 milliseconds of input lag or delay. That's not the case. Just to make sure that was the right controller, I unplugged it and it did disappear. I'm going to replug it. It's going to pop right back up on me. Let's do the overclocky thing. Unplug, replug. And now coming back from the forge with fresh plates of armor, we are overclocked. But then we get shot right in the shock trooper because it has absolutely no results as we are polling rate locked. Damn the dark side to hell. Fuck them. And this is why I always recommend fact-checking your YouTubers and price-checking your controllers. Recommended retail from the manufacturer's website, 180 bones, coming over here to Amazon, Jeff Bezos' back door. It's on sale for 120 currently, 33% off. Goddamn. And it does appear as if this is all the colorways are okay, not that one. So not the Sonic the Hedgehog, but the Stormtrooper, Captain America, and Boba Fett and Mandalorian that we're testing here today are $120 currently on Amazon. That is the link that I will put down in the description below. Why would you pay more at the Razer website? Son of a bitch. So they do the same thing on each and every one. So this is what I call lazy customization, simply changing out a faceplate, but the face buttons are the same. The analog sticks, the D-pad, share and option buttons, Xbox button, bumpers, D-pad, you're pretty much just changing out the faceplate. And as dope as these controllers look, I just simply can't recommend to my audience spending $180. That's recommended retail, but we'll even say the $120 price point on Amazon. We'll go off that. For what at its core is a stock Xbox Series controller with a faceplate and a pretty sick charging dock. The charging dock, in my opinion, is like the selling factor here, is it's painted to match the controller and it drops into the cradle very quickly and easily. And the battery life with that 1100 milliamp hour battery is decent, but it's really nothing to write home about. You're going to get about 12 hours out of a charge, but you compare that to something like the 40 plus hours on the Elite. It's not wonderful by any means. And on the Razer website, click on support and then warranty FAQ. And that's going to take you to this chart, which breaks down all the products, so all the peripherals, monitors, etc. Because Razer makes a slew of stuff, and they made like an RGB face mask thing that I talked about. And they make slippers and gaming chairs and all kinds of other weird stuff. Had to do the old Control F trick. Razer controllers, 1 year. Same as the Razer Raiju, same as all the Razer controllers. They're all covered under a 1 year standardized warranty. So that there is a little selling factor for buying these controllers, considering a stock Xbox controller only has a 3-month warranty. And up until relatively recently, after getting slammed publicly, Microsoft increased the warranty of their Pro controllers, the Elite line, from 3 months to a year, which it should have been the entire time. So this has swayed me a little bit more into the recommend territory, considering you now have 4 times longer a warranty. You do have a pretty good looking charging dock that does work. Granted, I wish you could get a little more battery life out of that included pack. And these controllers all do look good, but they would look so much better with just the face buttons and a little bit more attention to detail on the rear shell. Lazy customization. You can quote it here. It's a GamerHeaven and AK40 Kevin controller captain term. It's lazy customization. You're just swapping out the faceplate. It's just half-ass in it. It's half-step in the customization, and I'm not about that life. So what's next for this controller? Because I have a feeling this is just the beginning of its life cycle here at the GamerHeaven, because it's not going to remain stock, if you will. Granted, it's customized from Razer, but again, lazy customization, considering they're selling a $180 standard Xbox controller that literally has a faceplate, a battery tray cover, and a pretty nice little charging dock. To put that into context, you can purchase an Xbox Series controller for about $45 brand new condition on Amazon, buy a $15 faceplate from a company called Extreme Rate, buy $10 face buttons from the same company, remove, spray paint, and reinstall the D-pad, thumbstick bases, accessory button suite, bumpers and triggers, and then hydro dip a custom graphic on the rear shell. But instead of me just telling you these are all things that you can do, I'm actually gonna do it myself right now. Over shoulder, I'm gonna disassemble this bad boy on the table. That video will go live either tomorrow or the next day. When I say live, I'm not streaming, don't get too excited. We'll go public. How to change the look of your Xbox controller on the cheap or something like that. It's gonna be a very basic customization tutorial of an Xbox controller, also useful if you need to tear down and do some troubleshooting to fix something broken, because this is a cool controller, but honestly, this is only partially the way. It's my creed and code. It's what I live by. In fact, I only took off my helmet for you to see my face for this review, and so I wasn't sweating sideways, dying of condensation inside that mask. And also, it would sound like this the whole time. If you're gonna pick one of these bad boys up, Amazon is $120 versus the $180 on the Razer website. It is linked in the description below. Drop in the comment section your opinion of this controller, all Razer products, all the controllers on the wall behind me, my face, whatever you want to talk about, really. Open forum down there in the comment section. I'll see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace.
Till our paths cross.
If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at GamerHeaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of GamerHeaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting GamerHeaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.